Hi everyone, I hope you guys are doing great. Today I want to talk to you about your last and your final essay, your academic research essay. I want to talk about the outline and then the final essay itself. All right, so the first thing that you want to think about, you want to take your annotated bibliography, right? Because hopefully, or for most of you actually, that was the document where you started gathering the research for the topic you chose. So now what you want to do, if you haven't really thought about a thesis statement and then reasons to support that thesis statement, that's what we're doing in the outline that's due towards the end of the week. What's most important about the outline is the thesis statement. You have to have an argument and not a statement of fact and not a question, okay? And it has to relate to your topic. So there has to be an argument to it, a definitive argument where there's two sides to your statement, but you definitively take a side. I give you an example in the PowerPoint lesson about the death penalty. It's a really simple example, but that's a good one. What you want to think about is you want to make sure that you don't have this broad, oversweeping, general argument. It's got to be narrow. This is only a 3-page essay, so it's got to be super narrow. So one example I always give students, and I wrote it down, so that's why I'm looking this way. You can't just say, okay, well, social media is negative. Okay. Or in the alternative, you can't just say social media is positive. Okay, yes, those are both arguments, but they're too broad for a 3-page essay. They need to be narrower. Okay, so for example, you want to start thinking about, okay, so if your argument is like, okay, social media is negative, you want to think about, okay, in what kind of categorical way? So think of categories of how social media is negative. Is it negative to your physical well-being, to your mental, emotional? Does it promote certain issues within our society, etc.? Okay, so the example that I'm giving you, okay, so the one that you would want to think about and making it broad to narrow is that social media should be limited because it negatively impacts mental health. Okay, did you see how I did that? Okay, first of all, I made a definitive argument. It should be limited. We shouldn't be on social media so much. And there's a big reason why, because it impacts mental health. All right, so I took a broad statement, social media is negative, but then I made it narrower. Okay, so now I'm going to think about, okay, so the category of how social media is negative is going to be due to mental health factors. All right, so we've got the thesis statement. Social media should be limited because it negatively impacts mental health. Okay, there's your big umbrella thesis statement. Now you want to think about your topic sentences. Okay, so if you look at the essay description and the outline, okay, all you're coming up with is your topic sentences. Okay, so there's your thesis. Your next topic sentence is going to be for your background information paragraph. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more after I discuss the outline, but background information is going to be kind of, you want to think of it as a non-argumentative paragraph. It's a summary kind of your topic. It's information that your reader needs to know before you get into your smaller arguments, okay? So one sentence of background information, your topic sentence for background information, that probably is going to change, and I'm honestly not that worried about it, your background information right now for your outline, but I am mostly worried about your thesis and whether your reasons to support your thesis, those topic sentences of your next 3 major paragraphs, whether those pieces fit together. Okay, so you want to think of reasons as smaller arguments, the whys or the becauses that support the thesis statement. So you're breaking down, you're deconstructing your thesis statement, your big argument, into its smaller pieces. For the outline, I just want the topic sentences. So social media should be limited because it negatively impacts mental health. Okay, and then I think, okay, in what ways does it negatively impact mental health? Okay, you're gonna find 3 reasons, and those are 3 topic sentences for your reason paragraphs. Okay. Okay, so my reasons are that it contributes to, number 1, social anxiety. All right, that's one way it negatively impacts mental health. Number 2, negative body image. Okay, and number 3, depression. Okay, there's many others, and there's certainly other ways you can construct this, but for the outline, you really want to make sure you want to show me that your smaller reasons connect to your thesis statement. And remember, you don't want to repeat these reasons in your thesis statement. That was back in high school, okay? And so now we're evolving, and thesis statements become a little bit trickier because of that, okay? You don't want to repeat what you're going to say. Did in high school and maybe early on, but now we're evolving and we're becoming more advanced writers. So that's your outline, okay? There's your outline there. And so now what I want to quickly talk about is your essay in and of itself, okay? Just like all your previous assignments, just like your annotated bibliography, make sure you understand what I'm asking you to say, what I'm asking you to do, or say in a written form exactly. But make sure you understand what I'm asking of you, because essentially that's your test. The essay is the test. You're showing me that you understand what I'm asking you to do in the essay itself. So what we have is a 6-paragraph essay, the introduction paragraph, funnel method with the thesis statement at the end. Background information paragraph is paragraph 2, okay? And what you want to think about is just preliminary information that your reader needs to know. Okay, so this isn't an argument, it's just a neutral paragraph. Some of you, it might work well for you to look at kind of the 5-finger method. Remember, we've been working on that quite a bit, that 5-finger retell. Who are the actors? What's involved? What's the problem? What's the solution? The beginning, middle, or end, that may or may not work for your topic. So give that a shot. You might use a source in your background information paragraph, but remember, you have to use your different sources in your next 3 reason paragraphs, okay? You have to have one source, one different source for each of the 3 reason paragraphs. Hopefully, your annotated bibliography, those sources are going to help you here. That was my goal. So your reason paragraphs, they're going to be paragraph 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and I'm asking you to do kind of the same tasks in your reason paragraphs. Okay, so you have your topic sentence from your outline, then you're integrating your source material with in-text citations. Do not forget those. Please do not plagiarize. Okay, do not forget your in-text citations. And then your analysis. Okay, so you're building out that paragraph. Your paragraph primarily should consist of your analysis of the evidence that you chose. All right, that's where the heaviest piece of the paragraph should be. So choose your piece wisely. If you have a gigantic chunk of source material in a paragraph and no really explanation of it, you're not completing the task that I'm asking you to do in that paragraph. So choose your evidence wisely. I highly recommend paraphrasing your evidence, okay, because you're maintaining your own voice when you paraphrase throughout that paragraph, okay? If you start getting 2 different voices in your paragraph, it becomes even harder. You have even more to write to try to explain like these 2 pieces that are in separate voices, if that makes sense. Okay, so introduction, background information paragraph, reason, reason, reason. Okay, your sixth paragraph is your conclusion paragraph. And we haven't really talked much about how to write conclusions. That was something I was going to do for you after the break. Okay, I'm going to put a video about conclusion paragraphs. Where am I going to put that? I'll probably put that under handouts, or no, I'll make an announcement. I'll make an announcement for it. But essentially what a conclusion paragraph should consist of, you should think of it as an inverse triangle. Okay, you need a summary. Okay, you can restate your thesis, but that's kind of hard, quite frankly. So what I do, I take my topic sentences of each paragraph and I write a 2 to 3 sentence summary of those sentences. That's a little bit easier. Okay, so you have a summary, you have significance, you're explaining why is my summary, why is this important, why should anybody care, why does this matter? Okay, that's part 2. And then part 3 is your what's called a clincher or a conclusion technique. And you can use the hooks, all those different hooks that I've had for you in the introduction paragraph and the funnel method. You can use another hook. You can end with, like, say, a warning or suggesting results and consequences. Maybe you're going to universalize or compare it to other situations. But you want, kind of like your hook that you had at the beginning of your essay, you want something, you want kind of this clincher, this kind of interesting, profound statement to end your essay as well. All right, so that's a lot. I understand. Your first step, do not get overwhelmed, okay? Your first step is the outline. Because if those pieces of the outline are not in place, then your essay is going to fall apart. So, focus on your outline, okay? You've got your big argument, your thesis, make sure it's narrow enough, and then topic sentence for summary paragraph, but your reasons to support the thesis, those really need to be clear and connect to the thesis statement. So work on that first, okay? If that's all you need to do right now, that's the most important thing, because that's what's coming up due in addition to a journal assignment. So submit your outlines and then move forward. When you start writing, just like any other time, make sure you have that assignment description open and it is in front of you, and you are going piece by piece, paragraph to paragraph, and you are giving me exactly what I'm asking you in that assignment description. Follow that assignment description. Use it as a template for your own work. I've also got a sample assignment for you, okay? Use both of those documents. You can't go wrong, especially if you use the assignment description and then you have an example with the sample assignment. You can't go wrong. You guys should know that by now. I'm very clear with what I'm asking you to do. Do it. Okay. And finally, the last thing I want to mention is that I've got some dates set aside in the calendar coming up, and you have the option to email me what you've completed of your draft and I can give you feedback. I absolutely highly recommend that you do that. If you don't, and if you're off track, because we're moving toward the end of the semester, there's no guarantee that I can help you after you have submitted that final essay and I haven't been able to look at anything. So I would highly recommend it. Even if you've just written one paragraph, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm not going to judge. Just, you know, I would recommend that if you want to do well in my class. A lot of you already did that for the annotated bibliography. Okay, the last thing I want to mention, absolutely do not write this essay last minute. I promise you, for my class, it will not go well for you. please follow the calendar as best you can. I know this is difficult. We're all in a difficult situation, but please work on that essay throughout the next couple of weeks. It's really important. Your easiest paragraphs are your introduction and conclusion paragraph. Your second hardest paragraph is your background information paragraph. And then, of course, your more difficult paragraphs are your reason paragraphs. But remember, those reason paragraphs are worth half of your entire essay. Okay, so utilize your time wisely. Work on this in pieces. This is a big project that needs to be broken down into smaller, manageable pieces. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. Of course, email me, let me know if I can do anything for you, if you need help. You know, of course, you guys know at this point that I'm very much here for you. And just keep doing what you're doing. You know, you are almost there. You're almost there in my class. So just keep up the good work. You're doing a brilliant job. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.